What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so I talked about this in depth, unfiltered and uncensored on my Patreon the other day. I should be able to put out a couple of Rumble videos today. And I'm going to put out another video on my Patreon tomorrow. And some more Patreon videos this weekend. So shout out to those of you who subscribe to the Patreon. So here I got to kind of speak in code. So if you've been living under a rock over the past 2 years, there are outsiders, all right? Outsiders that have infiltrated our territory, okay? And by our territory, I mean the lower 48, all right? There are outsiders that have infiltrated the government. The administration serving right now is aware of this. They know about this. They planned this. And in effect, what they're trying to do is cultivate individuals to become the next the next block of voters who they feel should be subservient to them, and hopefully they think the next couple of generations will vote 80 to 90% for them as well, and because they see that we're starting to become uppity and starting to learn and see through the BS now. All right. What's really got a lot of people up in arms are these voucher programs that are being extended to these people, these outsiders, even though they're not actual citizens. They're getting freebies that actual people who live here don't get. They're getting freebies. They're getting posh hotel stays in some instances. And if this program works out well, the program that's available right now in New York City, if this works out well, it's going to be extended from 500 to thousands in the city. Let alone the fact that you also have individuals who have kicked out students from a high school in Brooklyn so that these outsiders can have a comfortable place to stay. Stephen A. Smith spoke on this, and while I don't usually agree with Stephen A. Smith, I say on 90% of issues, this is one time that I agree with Stephen A.
So you can pick and choose. What it came down to for me is this. I see homeless folks in the streets of New York all the time that are American citizens. I damn sure see them in California. We've got poor, impoverished, starving people who were born and raised in this nation. How in the hell do we come up with a $53 million pilot program for illegals, but folks who are here legally are born here, we don't have enough of them? Just like we could come up with billions for Ukraine, but somehow, some way, we can't fix the homeless problem. I'm down for helping Israel. I'm down for helping address the situations with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, okay? I'm down for helping the Ukrainians and fighting off Russia. What about poor and desolate citizens here? How the hell do you print money for foreign countries, but you don't print that money to help eradicate folks that are starving right here in the streets of America who were born and raised here? This is what I'm talking about. And so when you have something like that, what's the one way to eradicate it? Yes, you got to have a flourishing economy. Yes, you can't have inflation. Yes, you can't be on the verge of a recession. Milk don't need to cost $7. Bread don't need to cost $5. Don't get me started with how much sugar costs. You can talk about employment all you want to. You can talk about the labor participation rate. But guess what? If you ain't making no damn money, and you got to get two jobs to pay the same prices or to buy the same amount of stuff that you used to buy, and the price is higher than it used to be because of inflation, then guess what? What are you really accomplishing? Trump is on the verge of getting re-elected. Because when he was in office, there was a flourishing economy. There's a whole bunch of other problems. And I personally think his return to the presidency is going to be civil war in this country because he's going to be desensitized to bringing anybody together because he's going to be on a revenge tour to get back at everybody who went against him. And I think it could be the worst possible thing for the country. But I can't blame 50 Cent, for example, when he sits up there and he's tweeting, Eric Adams, I need you to explain this to me. What the hell is going on? Maybe we should consider Trump. When he says something like that, like you can see right here, what he's saying when he said it on his social media page, I can't blame 50 Cent for that. You want to sit up there and excoriate Ice Cube now? When he didn't pick sides in 2020? When he wasn't telling you to vote for Biden or Trump? He was just saying, yo, I want to present a plan for Black America and see who's willing to listen. And Trump gave the okay and the impression he was willing to listen. You want to call Ice Cube a sellout now? Trump got 12% of the black vote in 2016. He got 16% of the black vote in 2020. They're projecting he's going to get more than 20% of the black vote in this upcoming election. That's what they're saying. And who's to say black folks would be wrong to vote for him? I told y'all before, I am no Republican. I voted for one Republican in my life. That's Governor Chris Christie in New Jersey because I thought that Zion was a disaster. I voted for Clinton. I voted for Al Gore. I voted for Barack Obama twice. I voted for Biden, despite the crime bill that incarcerated a whole bunch of people in the 90s that looked like me. I shoved all of that aside. All of it. Because I knew how divisive Trump would be. But as we sit here now, and we watch something like this transpire, where there seems to be more rapt attention being paid to folks who are not even here illegally, nor are from this country, yet we want to turn around and ignore us. Black folks, Latinos, and beyond, who are impoverished and are in need. We know why you're doing it.
Yeah, I decided to let that play in its entirety. And at the end of the day, if 20-25% of black people vote for Trump, I have no qualms or trepidations about it this time. Even though I usually advocate, man, just staying home or voting third party when it comes to these situations. But at this point, the Democrats have screwed us over for the last time. They screwed us over for the last time. And I'm so... I can't help but have a feeling of satisfaction knowing that the way that I felt about the Democratic Party all these years is now starting to resonate with others. They're starting to open their eyes and see the games that they play. They talk a good game. But what have they really done for us? And yes, I say for us. Because we don't have to just go out there and vote. This is another thing I get tired of. I get tired of people saying, well, they don't have to do anything for you. Well, why do you think other people vote for Democrats? Just out of the kindness of their heart? No. They vote Democratic because they get something in return. The party serves us, not the other way around. We're not the butlers of the Democratic Party. We're not there just to serve them and vote for them just because we gotta and don't expect anything. But Asians, Latinos, liberal white folks, other groups, the special interest groups, LGBTQ, they vote. They get something for their vote. Catholics, Jewish individuals, everybody else that's part of the Democratic coalition, they get something for their vote in return. We're the only ones who get guilt tripping if we just question not voting for them. And I'm sick of that. And yeah, Ice Cube never even said vote for Trump. He was looking for which party would best benefit his people. And the way that people in the media who look like Ice Cube went at him, turned their backs on him, I'll never forgive those people. And I hope he never forgives them either. But that's just the last straw. Individuals who don't even have a right to vote are getting these freebies because they're trying to cultivate a new generation of voters eventually to become obeisant and obedient to the party because they feel like they are owed something. We've given you all these freebies, now we own you. And they're trying to cultivate individuals who are already here and can vote. Look what we've done for your people. But that's not going to work. That's not going to work because 80 to 90% of the time, the people who are already here don't have a connection with those people that's coming in here. Same way how a lot of black people, even though African is our motherland, don't have a real connection with Africans coming over here. You see what I'm saying? That's what Democrats don't get. And the way I see it now, because the Republicans are always capable of shooting themselves in the foot. They don't ever underestimate them for doing that. They had, remember 2022 was supposed to be a red wave election, but they wouldn't leave the abortion issue alone. They wouldn't leave all those pet peeve issues alone. They kept trying to push all this crap through, and what was a red wave turned into a status quo midterm election, where I think Democrats even made some gains. But anyway, I don't think that's going to happen this time. There's definitely something going on out there. There's definitely something going on out there. There's a palpable anger, and I think this election is going to shock some people. I think it is. I would not be surprised if it's even somewhat reminiscent of 1980. And by that I mean, up until the last weekend before Election Day, that election was sort of seen as a toss-up. And then there was this shift in the polls after the one and only debate they had, Carter and Reagan. And there was this huge shift to Reagan, and Reagan won in a landslide. I'm not saying that Trump's going to win in a popular vote landslide. It's just the math's not there for that. But I do believe he can win an electoral vote landslide. And at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see about that. But if they lose, it's their fault. It's their fault. And I don't want to see them blaming us because they love doing that. Whenever they lose elections, they love to blame black folks. But whenever they win elections, we never get any credit. And I'm done with that. I know I'm done with that. I hope you're done with that. And it's time for us to look out for ourselves. We've looked out for the Democratic Party for too long. And they've abused us, misused us, haven't appreciated us. And like I said, this isn't the same party of the 60s. It's not. So anyway, that's all I got to say about it.